So I'm up here in Scotland on a very wet day doing some work on the deck. Perfect weather to be doing that. So what I've been doing the last couple of days, as you can possibly see behind me, is I've been stripping off all of the rubber tech deck, I can't remember what it's called, the sort of rubbery diamond plate stuff. It was a bit of a mixed bag. Some of it was in good quality, some was bad quality. Some of it had been replaced with some other types of rubber, and we kind of, in terms of cleaning it up and making the boat look nice, we want to replace all that with something as yet to be decided. It was a mixture of really easy to get off. The ones at the front I just pretty much peeled off in 1 or 2 pieces. That was lovely. And the ones at the back here took literally probably about an hour each of some pretty painful work, and they've left a fair amount of residue, so I'm going to get them sanded down. All of the tread deck, tech deck, I keep forgetting what it's called, has been removed. I've also done all of the templates for these tread decks, which are basically like where the rubber diamond sort of plate pads are going to go. So all those templates are done. We can take that home, order what we need for that, and yeah, go from there.
Back home, we laid out all the patterns to find the most cost-effective way to get our patterns cut out from the Treadmaster matting before we then placed our order.
Right, so I am up here now with Tim for the first time this year, and my job, or my first job, is to finish doing the tread decks. So we've got all the material that's arrived and we've just unrolled that. And so what I'm going to do first is go around with Tim's patterns that he made last time and just double check that they're all alright and mark up any extra bits that I need to mark, and then start marking them out onto the actual material, and then cross everything that I get it right.
Alright, so I have spent the morning getting the patterns that Tim made when he was up here last time for the tread deck as sorted as I think I can be. There wasn't much to do, I just needed to fancy up a little bit, just mostly around fittings and stuff, and I've checked them on the ones that I can do on the opposite side as well. There are extra fittings on the port side, so when I get onto that we'll have to figure that out, but we're going to start with the starboard side because that is the easier side to do, because it doesn't have any of the actual fittings like on the deck, just around on the edges. So yeah, so what I'm going to do now is the really scary bit. I'm going to mark them out on the very expensive rubber, and yeah, hopefully it will go well, because like I said, it's very expensive. So I've got the first set laid out, and what I've had to do is actually flip them over, because I'm going to be marking them out from the back. For them to be cut out the right way for the starboard side, they have to be facing sort of upside down, as it were. So I've done that. I think I've done all right. I think I might get Tim to check it just to make sure. And so yeah, and then it's going to be a case of marking them all out. The marker pen does work. The backing is really slippery. So I'm hoping that the patterns aren't going to move around when I'm doing that. So we'll have to see. So yeah, I think I should probably stop procrastinating and start cutting. I think they're lining up okay. It's hard. So the downside to marking them out on the back is that although I can see where my pen marks are, I can't see where the pattern is. So I'm having to feel to see if it's right. It doesn't help. The actual pieces that they've cut that's not square. So I can't even line it up and go on the edge, which is a bit frustrating to say the least. So I'm just gonna
hope and prayer, I guess, that this is going to work.
So I'm done marking everything out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut the smallest one, and because if I've failed on that one, then I can easily put that onto the other sheet. So we will see how that goes. I've tested the scissors. It looks like they're going to cut fine, which is good, because otherwise it would be a nightmare. So yeah, I shall get on and cut them out.
So I've cut the first one out and it seems to have been okay. If anything, it's a little bit large, which that is fine. I will take that because I can trim it down. So I basically did the smallest one possible. So yeah, hoping that's come out all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up and have a look. Now, one thing I am a bit concerned about is cutting out on the larger pieces some of the sort of more tight internal corners. So internal corners, external ones absolutely fine. It's when they've got an internal corner, it's quite hard for the scissors to get around. So I might have to get a knife and a straight edge. I didn't bring one up. I should have brought one from the workshop because I got loads there, but I didn't, which is just stupid. But I think we're going to go into Helensburgh tomorrow, so I can get a few bits and bobs there. Anyway, let's go check this one.
Moment of truth.
I think that fits quite well.
Right, so this is the following morning and we have just got back from town and we've got a few bits and pieces to hopefully help with cutting out the rest of the mats today. So we've got a couple of knives, just in case the one doesn't work. Basically, we've got the one that was as much like a scalpel as possible, but does have a plastic sort of fitting in it, so we're not too sure how that's going to last. So we also got a really small snap-off knife, because basically what I wanted to do, I want to be able to hold it like a pen because you got more control over it that way. So I'm hoping that the ones that look more like a scalpel are going to work because they're going to be the easiest and most comfortable to use. I've also got a nice cheap little knee pad to save my knees from all my kneeling down on top of the boat and down here. And I've got a straight edge and we've got a cheap bit of MDF that I can actually use to cut on, so I don't damage the eco-ply, because we will be using that later on in the boat. So I think that's enough of getting you guys up to speed and I should probably start work. Right, so that is the first one of them cut out today, and I chose the easiest one to start with, but also it's probably the easiest one to get to by the way that I've laid all this out as well. So it cut well. The straight edge is just brilliant, especially obviously for the straight edges. So yeah, so I'm going to be using a combination, I think, of the scissors, the different knives and stuff like that. This one didn't have any internal sort of circular corners or anything like that, so it was quite easy. So I haven't tested that bit yet, but it should be fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to test to see if this one fits, if I need to alter it, and then hopefully crack on and get the rest cut out. Okay, so this is the first one, so it's almost there. I think I just need to take a bit more off the straight edge. I think it's going to be the easier one because this outside edge fits really well, and I don't want to have to try and take a little bit off of there. So I'm just going to, from about here, just take a little bit off, pretty much right up to the end, and then I just got to adjust this top corner as well. Actually,
trimming it, that's just at one time, is going to be enough for this one. So one down, 16 left to do. Right, so we are on the home straight with these doing the tread decks. I've just got 2 more to do, and they are the awkward ones because they've got extra fittings in them. So what I've done is I've roughly cut them out, and then what I'm going to do is with the patterns I'm going to go over them again and mark out the cutouts for them, and then hopefully all things will go to plan and that will work well. Right, so you can see here what I've done is cut out a nice little square there that's going to fit nicely around this deck fitting. Now on this one, what I've done is, because you can see this is right in the middle of the pattern, I basically held the pattern where I wanted it and folded it up and marked where I wanted it before cutting out sort of around it to make sure it worked. And now what I can do is cut those out around the corners and then transfer these on to the actual tread decks themselves. That is the last of the deck treads cut out, and we are now ready to get them attached. So that won't be till tomorrow because we're going to have to do some cleaning as we go, but I'm really happy with how they've turned out actually. So I think I've done the best job I can, so hopefully Tim will be impressed. But yeah, it's going to really elevate the boat because the tread deck, like the colour that he's gone for, really match the grey that's on the boat from the bit of the painting that he's done and sort of the colour scheme that we're sort of going for throughout the boat. So yeah, so hopefully it'll all go down nicely tomorrow.
There.
That is the new rubber treads all installed on the boat. We're really pleased with how it looks, and they went down really quite easily, and so yeah, it really brings the boat together and we're really happy with it. And so that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and if you want to follow along with our journey, please hit that subscribe button and we'll see you in the next video.